This is about to be one of the most ridiculous adventures you've ever seen.
Big dog status, I'm a big dog vet. I pull up on the block in a big Corvette. Yeah, ride around the city with a stick all black. Try with a dope, we with all that.
Here's the entrance.
Shit, you serious?
Yep.
Hey.
Watch your step here. We're almost there. When I first moved to New Orleans, I had no idea there were abandoned buildings on every corner. Literally, the third tallest building in the city has been abandoned since 2002. That's before Katrina. After settling into my new place, I met up with a few photographers and went over to a nearby abandoned power plant. I'd seen a few photos of it online and wanted a crack at it. Shortly after sneaking onto the property, it was evident there was an entire community of people living inside this massive building. On my second trip back to the power plant, we brought breakfast and some clean drinking water. After hitting up the only guy I knew in the plant, we headed to a few other spots where I'd seen human activity from the first time we were there. There was one spot in specific I was curious about. The first time I was there, I heard music bumping from this room on the second floor, and I swore I saw Christmas lights flickering through a hole in what seemed to be an old overhead garage type of door. We picked up our donuts and headed that direction. Hey, knock, we just brought some breakfast. You want some donuts and water and stuff?
Well, I won't say no.
Yeah.
How's it safe to get over this thing?
It is actually.
Meet Paul. Paul's the main actor in this story. And right here he's telling me that it's 100% safe to cross over this bridge into his temporary home. Now this isn't the last time I'll actually cross this bridge into Paul's home, because while we're in there sharing breakfast with him, he invites us back to shoot an entire video in his home. How you living?
Good, how are you?
Is that Paul?
Yeah.
Yo, what's up?
I don't recognize who's that.
It's Ryan.
Oh, it is Ryan. Okay. Hey, bro.
It's always a journey trying to find over here. I get lost at the bottom.
Yeah. I mean, if you're here every day, you know where everything is. Just grabbing some water from
Okay.
Sarah's thing.
Cool.
Just give me 2 minutes and I'll walk you over.
Word.
Yeah. If you can see sort of the lights over on the other side of the big hall, that's my place, which was occupied by David before me. He moved out. I was downstairs, so I moved in there because I really like it. You've been.
It's
in there.
nice, yeah.
Yeah, you've been.
And this is okay. Just walk more right. Yeah.
So since you've been here, I built the platform to get the tent off the floor because, as you can see, we get puddles.
Yeah.
And I built one complete and one partial, I haven't finished, sub-ceiling so that the water doesn't come pouring straight down. And there's a freezer that's sort of a communal freezer downstairs,
Okay.
full of chicken breast and God knows what else from these runs that people make occasionally. And I feel there's absolutely no shame in this whatsoever. He says, I just go in there and I grab a whole black, hefty trash bag, I pull the whole thing out, and I go a couple blocks away and then I sort through it. There are whole communities, since I've been living in Europe for over a dozen years before I got kind of stuck in the United States, that there are communes or sort of small communal villages that they feed 20 people because they know where to go, which supermarket to hit on what nights, and they come home with vegetables, everything under the sun, because that's just how the laws function.
Right. Yeah, my mom, even growing up, we dumpster dived a lot.
Yeah.
Like, where does one take a piss around these
Okay,
parts?
here's the bathroom. You've been in third world countries, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then you'll be fine. So, There it is.
Oh, say less.
It's like Egypt.
Or some other place. Is that still in the bathroom? Or, sorry, in the building?
Yes. And you know what? It's one of those really dark corridors called the catacombs, and nobody goes through there. And not to use a cliche phrase, but who gives a shit? Because there are spaces in the building that obviously most of us agree upon that, you know, nobody lives there. And yeah, what are you going to do? Run out of the building every time you got to pee and go to the bushes?
Yeah.
Yeah, keep filming.
Film the whole thing.
Growing up, my mother taught me a few things. Number one, it's okay to make a lot of mistakes in life, but stealing from her or lying to her won't be tolerated. Number two, never drink the last soda in the fridge. And if you do, don't leave the cardboard box in there empty. You're only making it worse for yourself. And three, people are people no matter what. If someone at the top of the societal food chain speaks down to you, don't accept that. Do not tolerate that to advance yourself in life. On the other side of the coin, if someone is genuinely struggling or needs a hand, and you have one available, reach it out. People are people, no matter what. Thanks, Mom.
Whoa, whoa, careful where you're stepping. There's a big hole right there. That's, yeah, those are like 4-story drops.
It's getting eaten out.
Well, no, straight across. Because that's the one good supporting beam runs right there.
Were all the power lines like ran when you got here? All these extension cables?
Okay, as far as I know, one of the earlier occupants grafted into the power outside the building, and everybody just kind of jury rigs extension cords. Welcome to the eagle's nest. Yeah. Oh, that's just the wind. There's all kinds of loose tin up here that flaps around.
Stuff like that. Yeah, we made our fair share of noise coming in.
Oh yeah, no, it spooks you the first time. And I weathered the hurricane in here. I was here during Zeta. And these windows that are still, the ones that are still intact, are definitely hurricane proof. And this building it's built to specifications from the 20s or 30s, I think. I'm not sure when this building was actually originally built, but it's solid. And what kind of EPA cleanup they have to do to make this place livable.
Yeah.
For normal people.
The
rest of us are just like, fuck it, we're going down dumpster dive, get a hot dog, and come back and smoke a cigarette.
Do you know who that guy is? There's a guy on the roof over there.
Is there?
Yeah,
oh,
right at the corner.
I'm not sure, I can't tell who it is. Justin, is that you?
Yo!
Or maybe it's Nick. I don't know.
Yo.
Who's that? Russell?
No, I'm praying.
Oh, sorry. Okay. All right. We just thought you were somebody who lived here. I don't know. What's going on?
This thing looks like a face. Man, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. Might be literally like, this could be it.
What do you mean?
If they shut this place down as far as...
It has a lot of history, and there have been squatters here for a lot of years. And you know, if you feel ballsy, there are all kinds of catwalks you can walk.
You got that?
Got it.
Oh, now you run away. I have new camera.
Well, I'm going to say, before I go further in this direction, you definitely want to have at least one hand free for this bit.
You got one
just
hand
for
free?
safety's sake.
Trust me, if there was light out, I would not be going that way. I'd be a lot more scared. I'd be a lot more fucking scared. Now that I can't see the ground, it's a little less scary. You know what I'm saying? Oh man. Heart's racing.
After Paul's tour and scaling the factory like a bunch of squirrels, we headed back to his area, fired up the grill, and got ready for dinner. Buns, you know I got the veggie special. Mushrooms, onion, zucchini, and the secret ingredient, squash. I brought a fork, a spoon, and a knife strapped. I also brought some dark chocolate, and now seeing the ants, we're gonna eat that ASAP after dinner. Plates. How am I gonna cut this? And it's not that I'm honestly like afraid, because I think anybody who comes in here would be just as afraid when they walked in on people as I would be of them, you know what I mean? Like when I first came in and we walked in, me and another photographer came in here, and it's intimidating. Like you're walking into this huge power plant that's got cuts in the gate to get in, and then you walk in through this tiny, you saw it, like little aluminum siding piece to dark room that you can't see anything of, and you make all this noise. You're good? So you know if anybody's in there, they're hearing you. And it's intimidating, so I wouldn't be afraid of anybody coming in to harm you or hurt you in any way. I also don't think I'm properly cutting these for kebabs. I think Paul's gonna be upset. No! Ain't no 5-second rule in here. Trash. I cut the squash with this, but digging into this, we're gonna need something else. I think it's time to cook. Besides that onion.
I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. Too easy. I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. Too easy. It's too easy. I've been there, done it, seen it. Boy, all that like Keenan.
There was one with Lindsay Lohan in like the early 2000s. Oh, so I don't know if that's done, Paul.
Can you eat turkey raw? I guess so.
I would not eat that, not as a vegetarian. You're a savage.
For any reason.
As dinner came to an end and Paul decided to quit eating raw turkey, it was time for Tyler to say goodbye and head home. Here, I'll help you.
I know where you're at.
Hi, Tyler. Can't say it's a little bit freaky being alone in here. Okay, so now it's just me in here. Well, me and Paul and the rest of the residents. But Tyler just left and I'm gonna stay the night here with Paul. I've still yet to get in and out the same way. I always just end up halfway back at some place I feel like I've been before. Well, I think that's it for me and Paul for the night. We're gonna call it now and pick you up early in the morning. Where can I sleep?
Wherever you like.
Deal. Good morning. Slept like a baby. This thick mat on the ground made it way warmer, and it's actually pretty comfy. As you might know, I sleep on the ground, but this thing was hard enough. Sounds like Paul's moving. I think he got up to get coffee at like 4:30 a.m. It's now 6, so let's get up and see what's going on. Good morning, Paul. Time for a good morning pee. Yo, Paul, I gotta ask, what good does the plunger do you?
That was just here.
Oh.
Yeah. You're right. It's a good question. Okay, what do you do with that? No, it's not what you think.
That's so dope. I do gotta say, this is probably one of the best views I've woken up to. Now, if you've been following me for a while, you know that I sleep on the ground. I'm not gonna get too much into it right now. I should make a whole nother video about it. But last night was plush. That he had like a big couch cushion. I don't know what it was that I sat on the ground and slept on top of that. Now, I did wake up a few times throughout the night because the wind got to whip in the building, the aluminum foil, and I guess it's not foil, but the aluminum siding And the you can kinda, can you see it? Yeah, a little bit over there. It looks like you can see it. There's white like sheeting around. That's actually Paul's part of his roof. And even that gets to flapping and banging. So there's a lot of noises throughout the night, and it definitely, I wasn't used to it. So it woke me up a few times. And I had like my camera and my phone and stuff, and I was just trying to manage how I was sleeping with all that. But outside of that, I slept great. I heard Paul a few times snoring up in his tent. That man really could sleep through a hurricane. And this whole experience, and my purpose for making this video, is to think about what home is. I thought, sit you down properly. I thought a lot about what home is and what a house is myself, but these type of experiences just make me reflect even more. Like, home is a feeling to me. Home is a place where you feel at peace and you are committed to the things and often the people around you. But a house is just a place where you stay, and a place that is physical. It's a physical building, like the structure. A house could be anywhere, but you make it a home. And although Paul's in there by himself, he's really made this place like a home. He's made it kind of his own. Now he understands that he's squatting, and at any time they could come in and tell him to leave. And I respect that a lot, honestly, because he's living in a place and he's made it his home and created that environment, at the same time still knowing that he doesn't own the house. Good morning, kitty. Hi. Good morning. Oh, you're purring nice and early. Talked a big game last night about going up there, but I'm not gonna make it up this morning. The working crew that's coming to do whatever they're gonna do to this building is coming in about a half an hour, 45 minutes, so I don't want to be up there when they get here. And it's freezing cold, and that's a ton. Check this ladder out. I'm gonna show you anyways. That's a lot of cold iron holding on my fingers that I'm gonna be suspending my life from. Let's see, you see that? All the way up. That thing's gonna be icy. Today's the coldest day it's been in a little while. Now that it's morning time, Paul has been kind of.
Well, I have my morning routine's been a little disturbed, but you know, we'll
you've got a little bit of coffee.
We'll flow with it, yeah.
All right.
But I do other things in the morning. Okay. So.
Paul's ready for me to leave. He's gonna evict me. As Paul said, he usually does other stuff in the morning, but he was kind enough to let me disrupt his morning routine, and he gave me a full MTV Cribs tour of his home. Once I have that video edited, I'll link it in the description below. I don't know if our paths will cross or when they'll cross again, but I'm glad they did. You're a man of many movements, so maybe I'll see you in Istanbul. That would be amazing. I want to go there so bad. Oh. I'm gonna be good.
Okay, yeah, you're clear now.
Paul, take care of yourself, man.
Vaya con Dios, motherfucker.
Turning stones comes from the phrase, no stone left unturned. It's about exploring life and finding those hidden places, both externally and internally. Oftentimes these places are hidden in plain sight. We can spot them, but we avoid them. We don't want to go there. We don't want to face our fears because it's hard. It's uncomfortable. But the truth is, your best life is waiting for you on the other side of that fear. Do whatever you have to do. Run, walk, fight, crawl, scrap, claw, but by all means, get outside of your comfort zone. You owe you that. And that was a life-changing experience. Thanks, Paul, when you watch this. Your hospitality, your kindness, your words, your knowledge. Thanks for imparting them all on us. For real, from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate you.